There was so much uncertainty, though, that I didn't know what to say other than, "It's not good." Things were far from stable, her condition as well as my emotional state. It wasn't so much what the doctors were telling me, but what they weren't, things they were leaving out, details and prognosis I still don't know, and I'm probably better off never knowing. There was inside knowledge, that awful truth, and then there was me, blissfully ignorant to it all. I don't blame the doctors for keeping their secrets. I already had enough to worry about that was real, never mind working myself into a state of panic over possibilities. It would be too easy to spin myself crazy indulging in all the mights of the situation. If she survives this, she might then be faced with that, the that's being paralysis, brain damage, etc. So not knowing the possibilities was a layer of protection necessary to deal with the immediate, to focus on the present. This is a great lesson I learned right out of the gate from the emergency room doctors and nurses. They aren't concerned with the past or the future. Their complete focus and attention is right there in the moment, on that body in front of them. Nothing else matters. And as I sat in the ICU waiting room, I tried to remain in that same state of present. Even in these earliest hours, I was never alone. In addition to my group of friends, there were others in the waiting room, people I didn't know who were related to other patients on the floor. We shared hellos, offering some of the mountain of food that had been delivered to us from other concerned friends. We exchanged sympathetic, unspoken looks, acknowledging that we'd rather be anywhere else than where we were, and that though strangers, we were bound by unrelated illness or tragedy. The images of the accident were not only haunting my memory, they remained right in front of me, broadcast all over the news. I'd catch glimpses on the television in the background, repeating the footage, but I didn't need to see it again. At one point, a man caught a look at the accident on the TV and innocently remarked to me, "Wow, look at that accident on Hollywood Boulevard. Miracle if anyone survived that. You got to take a look at this." I politely declined. He pressed again for me to check it out. "No, seriously, this is unbelievable." The man's wife nudged him and whispered under her breath. I knew exactly what she was saying without having to hear it. His face turned pale before he turned to me, apologizing. "I didn't know. I'm sorry." I told him not to worry about it. I knew he was just innocently trying to distract me from whatever I was going through. But what was interesting was that in that one moment, the sensational news story about some random stranger had become personal for him. In that instant, he realized that in that car, behind this crazy news story, was a very real person with a husband, children, friends, and family, who were all waiting in this very room, and like him, concerned whether their loved one was going to live or die. As with any accident or disaster, that awareness, that personal connection, makes the story a lot less fascinating to simply casually watch. It humanizes it. By this point, the waiting room had also become like central operations for a major campaign headquarters. A circle of 5 or so women, all Susan's closest friends, were gathered in a circle, laptops clacking away. Meal trains were being formed. Friends were being updated with the latest news. Carpools were being organized. It was an efficient progesterone-charged power machine. I looked around at them and commented, "God, if we could harness what's going on in this waiting room right now, I am quite confident we could solve all of the world's problems." It was true. The amount of focus, care, and energy was unstoppable. I sat there, primarily in a daze, holding in my hand the hospital turkey sandwich a nurse had given me for Alice hours earlier in the emergency room. At the time, Alice didn't want it, and neither did I. Every few minutes, someone would remind me that I should really eat something. It's not like we had any shortage of food. But I had been trying to lose some weight over the past few months, doing the whole no-carb, lean protein thing, and I hadn't consumed a piece of bread in some time. I sat there looking at this sandwich. Should I eat it? Was this really just a sandwich? Or was it a